So today we're doing something a little bit different. So today we are looking at the top 10 list of the most money spent on each anime episode of a particular anime show. The first one is Dragon Ball Z, but let's read this first. Ever thought how much money it takes to make every anime episode of your favorite anime you binge watch in a day? The answers are staggering. So, Dragon Ball Z, wow, okay, Dragon Ball Z, $50,000 to $60,000 per episode. Since the anime was built to become a mainstream success, the studio poured a huge amount of money into the animation. Back in those days, good and fluid CGI meant you need to chill out more. The series ended being a massive hit, making the studio at least $5 billion in revenue. Yeah, we expected this, right? Like, I mean, Japan CG comparatively to like NA CG, it's way behind. So yeah, it just takes a lot more money, time, and resource to implement CG or hand animation into a lot of it and make it blend, right? I didn't even realize that Dragon Ball used any CG, honestly. Like, maybe like the energy, right? The energy, like the woo woo woo, like the Super Saiyan energy is CG. I didn't notice that when watching it, but that's probably the CG to implement. Probably everything else is like hand animated. All right, the next anime, Neon Genesis Evangelion. Okay. $60,000 per episode. According to reports, Evangelion producers committed receiving around 25 million yen per month from their official sponsors. They will put the overall budget for the series at 6.25 million yen per episode. What? That equal to around $60,000. Oh, okay. Sorry, the conversion rate. Okay. I didn't watch Evangelion, like the anime, the show. I watched the movies. The movies, I can see why it would be like crazy budget. I don't even know the budget for the fucking the movies. It's an older anime. What do we expect, right? And also like what? It's basically like a fucking mecha anime, right? Hand animating mechas is expensive. That's why a lot of modern day like mecha animes nowadays, they use like full CG for it, and honestly it doesn't look good, but I mean it is what it is. It makes sense why they use CG nowadays for mecha animes. But one thing I remember about the series is the elevator scene when Asuna and Rei was sitting in the elevator just staring at the wall or the elevator door for a minute and a half. I'm like, bruh, I know that episode did not cost $60,000 to make. I mean, come on, right? All right, the next anime. Oh, One Punch Man. Really? Okay. One Punch Man, $70,000 to $80,000 per episode. Madhouse Studios and the producers released a statement a month ago that stated One Punch Man had an average budget per episode which ranged from 8 million to 9 million yen. That's roughly translated to $70,000 to $80,000 per episode. Season 1 for sure they went all out. Like they went brazy. But season 2, there's specific moments in it where they kind of drop the ball. The fights with Goro and the bat guy, the bat hero, they kind of dropped the ball on it. I mean, it still was serviceable, but like it was not as good as like, you know, they didn't keep the consistency throughout season 1 going into season 2. All right, next one, Demon Slayer is the next one. I was a little bit hesitant on saying that it was gonna make it up here because they used a lot of CGI, but I mean like the time, the artwork, you know, the animation that they poured into it, I'm not surprised it's up here at the same time. Demon Slayer, $80,000 per episode. Demon Slayer is another anime that has gained widespread acclaim in years. The cost of making a single episode of Demon Slayer is known to be unique animation style is $80,000, but it may go higher as $90,000 in some instances. The series, season 1, I mean, absolutely phenomenal, right? Absolutely, I mean, undisputed. I mean, beautiful animation. I mean, I don't think anyone can legitimately, with a straight face, say the animation in Demon Slayer is bad. Like, no one, right? And if you're saying that, you're just trolling. You're just trolling. You're just lying to yourself. That's $2.8 million for this season. So, like, it was what, 24 episodes, right? 26 times 80,000. Oh, yeah, it is. Dang, bro, that's so much money. I mean, it paid off, right? It made them like billions of dollars probably, right? Or millions. Next anime, One Piece. Yo, let's go. One of the longest running anime in existence, also has a humongous per episode budget. According to Anime News Network, one episode of One Piece is 10 million yen. That's roughly $90,000. It's an older anime, right? A lot of like the 3D shots of like One Piece when they're like panning around a character or like the merry-go, right? Like that's all hand animated. They gotta do like cut of like all the 3D shots of the merry-go or like a specific character. That takes time. They don't have like a streamlined workflow or like, you know, it's not as efficient. They didn't have like crazy ass fucking NASA computers that it was perceived back then to be like regular computers now, right? That's a lot of money over time. Oh, for sure. But I mean, that's a lot of money returning over time as well. Then we have Naruto. Oh my god. With a budget of 90 to 100,000 per episodes. Sheesh. As a general rule of thumb, the acclaim of wildly fallen anime costs 100,000 to $300,000 per episode. Wait, why is he putting 90,000 here then? It should be 100 to 300,000. That's a huge range, first of all. I mean, that makes sense, right? Like a lot of episodes that like the fights and just like the in-between scenes, just like the dialogue, the exposition scenes, they vary from animation and the labor needed to animate those two different type of scenes, right? Naruto Shippuden is one of the greatest anime series ever made. Some people disagree. Experts speculate the anime costs north of $90,000 per episode. Oh, so there's not even like a concrete statement from the producers saying like it costs this much. Cost probably went up way more when the aspect ratio of 17:9 was used, probably, because that's just more that's more space that you need to animate, right? There's like a wider screen that you need to draw like scenes and animate for. That makes sense. Same thing with One Piece too, right? Same thing with Dragon Ball as well. All of like the older animes that use 4:3 aspect ratio, then they had to switch over to 16:9, and that became the standard. Yeah, that makes sense. But it hasn't been confirmed. There's no concrete number, so we'll never know, right? It's just a guesstimation. The next show that costs way too much money to animate is what? My Hero Academia. Okay. A study was recently conducted by Media Development Research Institute for the My Hero Academia. While the studio refused to quote a number, the independent study revealed the approximate price for My Hero per episode cost is $110,000. I wouldn't be surprised if there's actually moments in My Hero Academia that actually use CGI and they blended it so well where you couldn't even tell. But it's still overall, the majority of it does look like it's hand animated. This price does seems realistic to me, at least. All right, wait a minute. Studio David busting out them bands to produce JoJo. Okay, JoJo Bizarre Adventure, $120,000 per episode. There are a total of 152 episodes for JoJo Bizarre Adventure, and each episode costs upwards of $120,000, and maybe even higher since they are pretty rough estimates. The studio refused to release official numbers. I mean, dude, JoJo, the art, the animation, the color palette, you know, that choose, it's on a world of its own. I feel just like it's a lot of Studio David, I think before they got their footing into like what they want to do with JoJo, I think it's a lot of experimentation, right? Of like, ooh, how do we animate or how do we pose this character, right? To represent what's going on in the manga, right? I think it's a lot of testing, right? Fire Force next, he says, Fayusi. You think so? I mean, it very well could be. Let's see. Oh, wait. I did not expect this. Black Clover beats out JoJo with a budget of $140,000 per episode. Love it or hate it, Studio Period kind of drops the ball on things. Like, come on. I mean, like, but some of the fights are pretty PogChamp. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the fight scenes are pretty stinky though. Like they don't really touch up on the texturing, or they don't focus enough on the backgrounds. It's kind of like flat CG. But overall, I'm gonna be honest. It's no, I'm legitimately actually surprised that it cost this much to animate Black Clover. I don't know what Studio Period's doing over there. Maybe they're not budgeting their funds well, but I'm just genuinely surprised that it cost this much. They have like 70 episodes of bad animation. I agree. There's just some episodes where they completely drop the ball. Demon Slayer top 3? No, it wasn't. Checkers. We already saw Demon Slayer. It was before My Hero or before Naruto? Before One Piece. Yeah, 80,000, which is insane, right? To think about it now, like Black Clover somehow spent estimated around $140,000, and Demon Slayer are critically acclaimed for having beautiful animation. 80,000 per episode, and we're talking about per episode basis, right? We're talking about per episode basis. We're not even talking about season basis. Like season 1 of like Black Clover is like 152 episodes, or however long it is, right? Because it's a long running shonen, right? But somehow Demon Slayer is only 80,000. Thinking about it now, it should be way less than that. Because it's like a new gen anime. The workflow, the techniques is more streamlined, more approved upon, you know. And I know Black Clover does use CG. I know Demon Slayer use CG as well, but like I know definitely Black Clover use CG. And it's just surprising that it is like almost doubled its budget. Next show. Okay, are you guys all saying Death Note next? And if it's Death Note next, you guys are pre-readers. I don't care. You guys are searching up the articles, trying to sound smart, and you guys are pre-reading. All right, that's cringe. All right, but let's see. Okay, wait, Jujutsu Kaisen with a budget of $150,000 per episode. This was expected, right? Taicho brought up an interesting point. I think they spent budget on the wrong things. True, budget doesn't just stem from animation. It also comes from sound design, voice acting, maybe like marketing as well. Maybe, I don't know if they include marketing, but maybe just like strictly talking about production, voice acting, and sound design, right? So maybe like they spent more money on like more famous voice actors, but at the same time, like we don't know. But JJK, we all know JJK. We love JJK's animation. Everyone shits on JJK because, oh my god, you only like it for the animation, blah blah blah. It's only good because of animation. I completely disagree, but dude, still, I think unanimously we all agree that JJK has beautiful animation, absolutely beautiful animation. But according to Masumune Sakaki, a renowned CG creator in the anime industry, to nail the fluid animation in JJK, MAPPA has to shell out at least $2 million for a mere 13 episode anime. If you put those numbers into 24 episodes, Jujutsu Kaisen, the cost per episode becomes $150,000 per episode. We all expect JJK to like spend this much, but honestly, like I don't know if JJK is top 3. I don't know where we at on this list. I was honestly expecting JJK to be top 3. Hopefully it is top 3 because like either MAPPA is like we all know the anime industry underpays their animators, right? But hopefully MAPPA is not completely, absolutely like giving them pennies for like 10 frames to produce the beautiful artwork of JJK and the animation and the fight scenes of JJK, right? But yeah, let's see what's next, guys. Oh, Attack on Titan beats out Jujutsu Kaisen. So Attack on Titan, $150,000 to $160,000 per episode. So the average budget per season of the anime series Attack on Titan is at least $5 million. That would put the anime cost per episode at $150,000 or higher. I think most of the budget, if we're including per season, right? Per season like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And we average it out, that would make sense, $5 million, right? But I feel like the majority of that budget comes from Wit Studio producing season 1, 2, and 3, right? Because dude, season 1, 2, and 3, my god, like keep in mind, not just they hand animated the ODM gears and the movement behind it and the transfer, like the crazy movements of like moving through the cities and stuff. Obviously the background CG, right? But they also hand animated Aaron's Titan, Reiner's Titan, Bertolt's Titan. The only CG they used was actually no, Bertolt's Titan, one instance when he was outside the wall, right? That was CG. That looked bad. And the other time when the fucking Titan was crawling on his face, right? Whatever his name is, I forgot his name is. But yeah, those are the 2 instances of like very blatant CG for Titans. But like most of the time, like the budget for Attack on Titan or like the animation for Attack on Titan was like phenomenal, right? Like it doesn't miss. Levi versus Kenny. I mean, come on, stop playing with me, bro. That fight was like the majority of the season's budget right there. That's for sure. All right. Let's see what's next. You guys are saying Boruto's next. You guys saying Death Note's next. Let's see it. Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War arc. Okay, wait. Has this arc been produced yet? Wait. So this arc, $160,000 per episode. The data for the entire budget of the season of Bleach are not available. But if we take in just the upcoming 1,000-Year Blood War arc, the figures we would want to look for a chair and sit down. The entire series, if it spanned about 50 episodes, the least it should, because the arc is insanely vast. It puts the overall budget at $6 million to $8 million. So if the per episode cost comes down to $160,000 at the maximum. Okay, this is such a rough estimate. This is a very, very, very rough estimate. And also, it's kind of cheating. It's kind of cheating with like specific arcs, because like if you pinpoint like a specific arc in any anime, the budget obviously is going to be like near 200,000, right? 150,000. The anime hasn't even come out yet. Yes, a lot of crazy fights are probably going to happen in this arc, but it's just such a bold estimate to say that like it's going to cost 160,000. So honestly, we're going to probably exclude this. We're going to exclude this number from the top 5, top 3, wherever this is placed at, you know? Most likely the same studio. Do you know which studio produced Bleach before it was on hiatus? Studio Period. No way Studio Period's fucking budgeting. It very well could be 160,000, right? Because Black Clover was like, oh, what, 140,000? Okay, now Death Note, next one. I saw a video talking about the prices, but I forgot the number. Okay, let's see it, guys. Let's see it. The next one is Dragon Ball Super. Huh? Bro, people shat on like the animation of Dragon Ball Super, and I don't necessarily discreet. Like honestly, there's good fights. There's good, well animated fights in it, but a lot of the times they have dropped the ball. They have definitely dropped the ball in Dragon Ball Super. We return with another series from Dragon Ball franchise. The new Dragon Ball Super series had a better animation and CG range, so obviously it costs way more than Dragon Ball Z. The cost of making a single episode of Dragon Ball Super was $180,000 at the very least. If you implement CG, you save a lot more money on hand animation. Hand animation costs way more money. This list gotta be made by CBR. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't know if this website is trustworthy, nor the person who made this list is trustworthy or reliable with their sources, but I'm just purely reacting to it. All right, I'm just bringing you guys the fucking sauce. All right, I don't know if this is true. I genuinely don't think this number is accurate at all. But let's see what's the next one, guys. Death Note, $1 million per episode. Holy schmoly guacamole. Okay, prepare to have your minds blown. The cult classic anime series that has found mainstream success globally has a whopping 40 million overall budget. That puts its per episode at more than $1 million. Not even a normal live action TV show would cost as much as in Hollywood. Japan has some serious money, guys. But like, this is like what, mid 2000s, right? It is kind of mind-boggling to me that like it's more expensive than Dragon Ball or One Piece, right? Like, there's not that much fight scenes in it, but it's very clean. Like the whole show is very clean and still stand a test of time. Like, you can literally watch it like 10 years from now, like you really maybe not notice the difference from like those current gen animes. At least right now, I can say for sure right now, Death Note's animation and art style stands the test of time. $39 million went into the potato chip scene. That's it. The $1 million budget was dispersed throughout the whole show. But let's see what's next, guys. Let's see what's next. Wait, that's it? Wait, what's this video? Eh? What? That's it, guys. I guess that the video wasn't available. I don't know what the video was about, but so yeah, Death Note takes the crown for being the most expensive anime of all time.